First, I saw you fiddling around spamming the gay command. I don't know what you were doing, but oh, my audio's on. There we go. Oh, how you guys doing today? How you guys doing? What's the yams? Oh, so I kept drawing this off stream yesterday. Holy fuck, 1 second. Something very annoying is on my tablet right now. Can I? Where the hell? There we go. Sorry, I had like a yellow line. OBS does this thing where it shows you what you're capturing on your screen, except it puts like a yellow box around it, and it's very distracting because I didn't have the clip shot full screen. No music? I probably just didn't set it up properly. There should be music. Let me change that real quick. There we go. There you go. There you move. But yeah, so I kept working on this guy a little bit, tweaked some stuff around, and I think it looks better than it did before I ended stream. Where was it when I ended stream? It was probably something like this versus this. I think it looks better. I need a little bit more weight and value under the chin. It's not properly defined there. I'm still not sure I'm going to leave the mouth as it is, but, good little start. I keep hitting B instead of P for the brush, and unfortunately, that's just not the right brush button. There you go. That looks a little bit better. I think whatever. Oh, but yeah, how you guys doing today? Do you guys have a long weekend? How does it work in your country? Do you get like Easter weekend extra long, like an we get like Good Friday and then Easter Monday. So we get like an extra long weekend. So I have like a 4 day weekend. Today feels like it should be Sunday, but it's Saturday, which is like wild. My voice working? Oh yeah, I can see it. It's just working. I'm just being ignored. That's fine. I get it. I see how it is. I keep my wings carry me. Yep, some days off for Easter here. We're just trying to process that you are in Sunday. That you are in Sunday right now. It's not Sunday, dude. It's freaking. If I said it feels like Sunday, it's Saturday. Unless I'm tweaking. In which case I streamed at the wrong time yesterday. And it's Saturday. I don't know what kind of pattern to add to this jacket. I do need to get rid of that. I think this probably needs to also extend down. What kind of anime character has a collar? I'm gonna reference one. Oh, what about Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh? He has like a popped collar, right? Kaiba Yu-Gi-Oh. You said it feels like Saturday. Oh shit. Well, I'm tweaking, bro. It feels like Sunday. No, yeah, it feels like Sunday. That's what I meant. Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh. Damn, bro, he's dripped the fuck out. I don't know if I want to give him like the studs like Kaiba has. It also really wouldn't really work because my studs would be internal. It's a little fucking weird. Be a little uncomfortable, if you get a popped collar with like studs on the inside. It just don't feel right. Bro, everybody in Yu-Gi-Oh, now that I'm looking at it, they're all wearing like fucking BDSM outfits. They're all wearing like they're leather clad with like fucking belts and chains and shit everywhere. It's crazy. Can't believe my parents let me watch that shit when I was a kid. Anime designs are crazy, bro. What's the like craziest anime design you guys think? JoJo's is like the obvious answer. I don't even know if they're crazy. They're just like unique. Like what's a like a crazy anime design? One Piece probably is pretty wild. One Piece characters. One Piece. I love Kim's bomber jacket collar from Disco Elysium. Kim Disco Elysium. Let me look that up. Okay. He just has like a normal like flight. Is he a pilot? It looks like a pilot's jacket. That's pretty cool, I guess. Maybe I'll steal a little bit of that. Give him a little zipper here. It doesn't really read from here. We can leave it, but oh hmm. What can I do to make the collar more interesting? Honestly, it might just be a thing where I should just kind of leave it and not fuck with it. Because it looks fine as is. It just looks like bland. That's sort of my complaint right now, is it just feels a little bland. But I don't want to overdo it either, which is also like another concern, right? But see, I feel like I've already overdone it just there, but nah. I'm trying to be a lot thinner with my brush. I've noticed my line integrity is a lot nicer when I have sort of a very thin outline. I think in the past, in some older drawings, I've gone pretty wacky with brush line work, and I think sometimes it works, but I don't know that I know how to make it work. Whereas, like if I just keep it pretty thin, it tends to work generally. Like this area here feels too dark to me looking back at it, so I'm gonna just kind of tighten that, clean that up a little bit. You know what his hair reminds me of? It reminds me of like Jesse Pinkman, like when his hair was like longer. Feels like the head is a little bit too big on this side. Weird hairline though if I do that. Alright, whatever. We'll just kind of leave it. What up, Otter? How you doing? Did you go to sleep on time? Do you even have a bedtime these days, or are you just sort of freestyling? God, no, it's up till 1:30 a.m. Holy fuck, dude, what were we doing? That ear's in a weird spot. It's a little high. I could cheat it though. I could just sort of grab it. And we'll lower it so it lines up a little bit more with the eye line. There you go. No, I don't like the shape of it. Ah, fuck it. Don't want. Still kind of high. Still feels high, anyways. Okay. Whatever. I think the cleaner version of the ear is better. That's too high. That's too low. We'll make it a little bit more three-dimensional. A little front on, I guess. He's got like Dumbo ears. Who's this guy you're drawing today? I have no idea, dude. I'm sure I'll be asked to draw him poop shortly, though. But he's just a random fellow right now. Were you playing Repo only till 10 p.m.? I thought about joining you guys yesterday, but I was like, man, I just don't know if it's gonna if Repo's been causing my shoulder pain or what, but it probably isn't. I think it's probably tied to my appointment because he was really fucking like contorting me in weird positions and shit. But I just wanted to rule that out as an option. But I guess to do that, I'd have to play when I'm a little bit more healed. Right now, the pain is just sort of generally there, so it's gonna be hard to tell what's causing it if I'm in pain, already. I really don't like that ear. Oh my god, I don't like that ear. Okay, it looks better like that. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll leave it high. I think that one's fine. How physically exhausting is Repo? It's not. It's just the constant like if a monster turns the corner, right? Like if I'm walking on my little Repo guy or whatever, and then I turn the corner and there's like a monster, I end up panicking and then I flick my arm really quick to go hide, right? And I think it's that quick reactive jerk motion that like hurts my shoulder. I think. It's fine until NFT shoves you in lava. Was he doing that? Was NFT playing yesterday? No chicken for cat snack. No, genuinely. He was sad because of the cat. Ah, I see. Well, did they not let him keep it after all? No, they did not. Okay, this whole section here, I think, could be a little bit cleaner. Just this section. That's sad. Hopefully his mural experience will help cheer him up today. Will y'all let a guy take you on a plane ride for a first date? I don't know, dude. Maybe. Is he licensed? I'd need to see his papers, dude. I'd go all fucking Gestapo on his ass. I'd be checking his paperwork. I'd be like, dude, I need like. Also, like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But think about it, Victoria. This could top your shitting yourself story on your first date. If you end up having a horrible, horrible plane crash that you survive, you'll now have a replacement story for worst date experience when you're asked. That's gotta be worth something. I don't know if I like that. What if I shit myself while it's crashing? Well, I guess that's a better alternative than shitting yourself while it's just casually flying. I think it's an insane date idea, but I think, it would depend on the mood I'm in. Maybe I'd just be like, fuck it, whatever. That definitely seems like a fourth or fifth date activity. The idea of being stuck in a plane with a psycho lunatic as a lady, probably not that great, Probably not that great. I think being on land makes escaping a lot easier in a bad date. So, probably not like date one. Tyler Swift. Oh, Taylor Swift. Yeah. He has like a small plane and is a flight instructor, so surely he's got to be good. Okay, he's probably fine. Who dis? Who dis? New number. I don't know. It's some guy. His name is probably 17, given that his number is 17 here. Not to be confused with Dragon Ball Z 17. That's how old he is? Only if Victoria asks. Or only if Victoria says he's hot. His IQ? Yeah, exactly. Big forehead does not equal big brain. Okay, alright. I see how it is. Whatever, dude. He can be a moron. It's fine. I don't care what kind of lore crafting you guys do. He's a teenage moron. Almost said another word there. The teenage moron, according to chat. I feel like the risk would drop significantly if y'all just wait until the second or third date, but I probably wouldn't be down. Look, Victoria, I'm gonna be real, you probably shouldn't do it. But it does sound like a great story. Okay? And for context, everybody, we're talking about a chatter, Victoria, also known as Victoria Nicolek, going on a date in a plane for her first time. Well, not first time on a plane, but first date, plane ride. That sounds insane to me. I would say no, don't do that. I'm gonna be real. I'm probably gonna do it. All right, dude. I'm just saying, like, look, if you have a bad date and you're in a coffee shop, you can leave. If you have a bad date and you're 10,000 feet in the air, how the fuck do you leave? What are you gonna? Is he giving you jumping out of the plane with a parachute? What if this guy's a lunatic? I don't know. It seems high risk to me. As a man, normally I don't have to think about like the fear factor of going on like a date. So I'm trying to put myself in your mind, and a lot of dating for dudes is proving to women you're not insane. Original. That's how a lot of the time you can get a date. Like if you match with someone on a dating app and you manage to convince them you're not insane, you could probably land a date. Okay, that's usually the first vetting. Is just to prove that you're not like out of your mind. And and then the second date, if you're compatible and shit, but you could find out on the first date that the person's insane. They could have just filtered it really well by text. Or what if it's like really awkward? Now you're in the air for like 3 hours. Also, a plane flight just seems like a long date. Like you only need like 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm bad at dating, but my official advice is probably don't do it. My entertainment advice is I think you should do it because it'll be entertaining. So, Otter, I can't swim, I will die. Well, just make sure you take a plane flight above trees. That way it's the crash that kills you, not the drowning. Is it like a private jet though? I think it's his like it's not a jet. I think it's like his private like plane, like probably like a small Cessna or something like that. Seems like he's a flight instructor. So he teaches flying. So he's not going to be scary in that sense. But I don't know what this thing on his back is. It looks like a big ass battery. Is he going to be piloting during the date? Well, yeah, dude. What do you think she is? Or are they going to be like, they're basically going to be having a date in an Uber in the sky where there's just like a random guy flying? Well, they're chit chatting about each other. What is he on a scale of 1 to 10? Otter, is this your I'm willing to sacrifice my life like test? Where if he's really high up on the number scale, then, he passes, he's worth risking your life. Ladies, newsflash. Hot guys can kill you too. Okay? Especially when you're 10,000 feet in the air. The random pilot guy sounds better. Yeah, just me and him and his little plane. Why do you gotta say it like that, dude? Why can't it be his big, masculine, strong plane? Why's it gotta be a little plane, huh? His little microplane? Whatever, dude. I see how it is. It's not the size of the plane, it's the skill of the pilot, dude. In some photos, he kind of looks like Luigi Mangione, which probably doesn't help my case here. I don't think Luigi wanted to kill poor people, so you're probably fine. Actually, no, you're like my richest chatter according to you, so maybe you're not fine. Okay, we're gonna come back to the freaking orb on his back. I don't know what it is. We all brokies. Preach. And he goes skiing. He can't be a killer. Yeah, nobody's ever died on a ski resort ever in history. This guy's a buttercup. She's fine. Were you saying like she could beat him up? I mean, he'll be piloting, so how hard can it be to fight a guy when he's driving a plane? I don't know what the fuck's. I don't know what to do with the fingers. I don't know Victoria's appearance, but I could fold him in a situation if called for. That's true. Victoria, do you have the size and weight advantage? I feel like that's like that's a big determining factor on survivability. Vic's tough. And that'll be the beginning of the book hatchet. Huh. He goes down, plane crashes. I live in the woods and eat poison berries. Is that how that works? He looks like a solid 150 with a big cheese and smile. Okay. This song seems very fitting for the topic of conversation right now. What we won't do for love. Flying in the sky with a potential killer. Hey, Snack, what are your top music genres if you had to come up with a list? Um, Hip hop's like the old tried and true. Probably like rock. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of all over the place. I know what I don't like. I fucking hate dubstep. I don't want to hear any sort of dubstep or anything that sounds like it was made in a blender. I don't know. Otherwise, not a huge country guy. There's some country shit I like, but it's got to be sort of like not esoteric. Esoteric's not the word, but sort of like unique to the genre or particularly good. Like I do like Coulter Wall. Is it Coulter Wall? Is that his name? Coulter Wall. Yeah, I think it's Coulter Wall. I don't really know a lot of other country guys. I'm a big fan of Kaleo. Like a lot of blues stuff too. I don't know if I have like a main genre though. Probably like hip hop is probably like my tried and true, my OG that keeps coming back. I've been into a lot of like old early 2000s grunge rock this year, like Creed, Disturbed, Three Doors Down, shit like that. And then just like classic 2000 shit. I'm kind of getting sick of the 2000 shit though, just because I've been playing it so much. But I showed Victoria an example of the last time I tried dating apps, like 2 years ago, and it was with a 5'5" man, a profile picture sitting on a cliff with his pants down, and sent me a message asking if if I was a cigarette so he could put my butt in his mouth. I wouldn't be returning to dating apps. That's an awesome pickup line, dude. I want to use that. You were a cigarette, I put your butt in my mouth. Damn, dude, that's crazy. I don't even know what the most insane pickup line I've ever said is. I never went like too bold with it. I never really teetered the edge of like getting fucking banned off the apps. I think what okay, the most psychotic thing I've ever done, and I got left on red on this one, was a girl's like prompt on her thing was like, "Tell me your most embarrassing moment." And I sent her like a two paragraph opener. Well, it wasn't two paragraphs. It was just a long text. Like the opening. This is psychotic. The opening message was basically I saw this and I was like, ah, fuck it. It was basically like a giant wall of text that I sent her, talking about the time I got drunk when I was 15 and shit myself, and my friends had to change my underwear, and then I woke up in like different underwear and shit. And I sent her that. She didn't answer me. I thought I committed. I committed to the prompt, dude. Whatever. She probably wants some cutesy story. She doesn't know what she's missing. All right. That's probably the most unhinged, hinged message I've ever sent. I'm trying to think if I've ever said anything. I don't know off the top of my head like the craziest shit I've said. Yeah, that's hot as fuck. Honesty's hot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I was freaking bricked the whole time I was typing it. I didn't even do that when I shit my pants on a mountain. The craziest jerk off I've ever seen. I say this like with the caveat that I don't watch a lot of guys jerking off online, okay? But this one in particular was a video of a guy jerking off over a cliffside. Your thing just made me think of this scenario because the cliff and all that. But it was a guy jerking off on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a mountain. Except it's not a mountain; it's a fucking volcano, and the volcano erupts right as he comes. It's like perfect. It's probably not hard to find. You guys can find it online. It's just probably one of the best porn videos I've ever seen, dude. I don't even know if I would count it as porn. It's just like it's like cinema, dude. It's beautiful. Oh, I've seen that one. It rules. It looks fake, but it's like legit. It's like a guy watching a volcanic eruption while he comes. I was also a big fan of there's this Instagram page that I used to follow on like my old Instagram account called Scenic Pisses. And I really like that channel, and I want to make some submissions to it, to be quite honest. Um, but yeah, it was it's basically a guy who goes around to like these scenic views, okay, and he just takes a piss off of skyscrapers, beautiful like mountainsides in the nature, beautiful like crystal blue lakes, crazy foliage, all kinds of shit. Just the most beautiful like sunset pisses. This guy's living the life, dude. He also takes submissions, so a lot of his like videos are dudes that like will submit their pisses in. So I thought of making a submission, but I never did. A living curiosity. All right, you're lost, dude. I'm telling you, rules. I see scenic pisses on TikTok. Yeah, there you go. Okay. That's such a dog thing to do. Nature approves. The thing is, you can piss everywhere. Like if anybody's like, I mean, unless they see your cock, that's the risk, right? is people seeing your cock, because then you end up on a list. That would be horrible. I think about that because I piss in urban areas a lot. Okay, especially when I'm drunk, and I worry that I'll get caught, and that some old lady is gonna like see me when I'm really drunk and I don't notice her, and she's gonna scoff, run away, and I'm gonna get arrested, and then I'm gonna be on a fucking sex offender registry because I showed my cock to an old lady. That's a big fear of mine, but it's not a strong enough fear to prevent me from pissing in public. So I still do it. Can I get a census on a male name? Sure. What do you mean, like a census? Like statistics around how many people have that name? How do we feel about the name Philip? It's a little old timey. It's like it's a classic one, but I feel like you go by Phil. It kind of makes me think of like a plumber or something. Nah, I like it. All right, all right. Eight ball thoughts on Philip? Who knows? I'm just not a big fan. I've known a lot of guys named Phil that I didn't like. My alternate name, if my parents hadn't named me what they did, they were gonna name me Jean Philippe. That would have been my name, Jean Philippe. That would have been my name. So I would have been a technically I would have been partly a Philip. Would have been a JP. These nuts are filled. Yeah, how exotic? Not here. It's pretty common. My grandfather's or my great grandfather's name. My mother almost named me Tuesday. Damn, dude. I'd make a joke, but your name's not public. I'll DM it to you. To be fair, Philip is nice, classy, but not too classy. Philip to me is just like I don't know. It's like Bob. It gives me the same vibe as Bob. It's just like a generic white man name. It'd be like being called like John or something. It's in that same category for me. I love a Bob. You like a good Bob? Like I feel like if you ask like an AI to generate a white American man morbidly obese, he would look like a Bob. You know what I mean? That's just sort of what I imagine in my head. Philip would be like the skinny version of that in my head, but like a little bit tweakery, but not like a tweaker. He's kind of just like a tradesman, you know. So he's got like that leathery look, the cortisol face, you know, where he's got the sunken in cheeks because he smokes a lot of cigarettes, maybe drinks a little bit too much, but he's not like overly unhealthy. Apparently, the fake name I give to people is Philip because people would believe me if I said it. Really, a Philip? You strike me. I know you're not, but you strike me as like Moroccan or something, or like Middle Eastern or something like that. I think you've told me where you're from, and I don't think it's anything to do with like the Middle East. I think it's South American, right? But oh, people often confuse me for either Spanish or Mexican. Those are probably the two I get the most, Spanish or Mexican. Sure, am I wrong? I had a buddy at work the other day. He was trying to figure out where this girl we work with was from, and I have no idea either. And he asked her where she was from, like her origins or whatever. And I was like, dude, that's not gonna like go right. Like that's not a thing you ask somebody at work because she's Asian, right? Or she looks Asian. She could also be like indigenous, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm like, you probably shouldn't ask her. He's like, but it's killing me, dude. I gotta know. And he asked, and and she's like, I have no idea. I'm adopted, and he felt like shit afterwards. And I was like, oh well, dude. Well, so anyways, I'm sure she wonders more than he does. You did warn him. I did because she has a very French name, but she looks like I don't even know. She looks like Southeast Asian or something. She looks like it's I don't know a weird mix of different like ethnicities. But yeah, he came up to me and he's like, "Do not ask her where she's from." I'm like, I wasn't going to. He's like, "Yeah, I did. It didn't work." You're not correct, but I feel like we've been down this convo before. I don't want to bog down the flow. Okay, guys, one thing you need to know about me: I have a terrible memory. Okay, it's horrible. The only reason I know how to tie my shoes or cook burritos or fucking draw things is because I've done it a million times, and I just eventually stumble into like the pattern, and then I stick the muscle memory. But I have like the memory of a goldfish, dude. You could tell me anything, I'll forget it. I'm really bad. I'm particularly bad with names. I gotta go. I have a long drive ahead. Have a nice stream. Bye, Pookies. All right, peace, Otter. See you in a bit. So if you guys tell me things and I forget, it's not because I don't like you. Okay, I promise you, it's not. It's entirely to do with probably the fact that I started smoking weed at a really young age and just like fucked my brain up really early on. I think I really did damage to my brain in development. I'm not joking. I wish I were, but I'm not. I have to do something like 5 times before it actually like sticks. Oh, I'm liking this mouth. La la la. I think Ori said before he's part Puerto Rican. Oh, thank you. There you go. By the way, guys, do you guys think it's offensive to ask people their origin? I don't think it is, personally. I think it's a normal human interest to want to know where somebody's from, especially if like they've got sort of a non standard look to them in terms of like the geographical region they're in. But maybe I'm just freaking whitewashed. Maybe my brain is just like is too white manified. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if you go around guessing, or you do like you see like an Asian person and you're like, yeah, you're Chinese, right? It's like maybe then it's offensive, if they're not. If they are, good guess. I think it's just like it's a bit of a dice roll in that case. But I like it. I think it's fun. I think when people try to guess where I'm from, it's very entertaining for me because I just let them guess. Blues versus Jets, Blues in 5, calling it now. I don't know, dude. I hope the Winnipeg Jets destroy the Blues. Victoria, when it comes to hockey, the rule for Canadians is you root for your team first, and then you root for any Canadian team. So if there's a team I hate and they beat my team in the playoffs, okay, but the team I hate that beat my team in the playoffs is in the finals and they're Canadian, I'm rooting for them, even if they beat my team, dude. Oh no, I missed the timing. The Jets have the President's Trophy curse. It's possible. I don't know shit about the Blues, to be honest. They're one of the least interesting teams to me on planet Earth. Them and like the Coyotes. I don't even think the Coyotes are a thing anymore. Weren't they? They're replaced by Vegas or whatever. But there are so many American teams that just should not have teams in the NHL. It'd be like if Texas had a team. It's like, really, people in Texas watch hockey? The Coyotes went to Utah. Thank you very much. There you go, Utah. Another. What is it, like a state? It's a state, right? It shouldn't have a team. This Dallas. Okay, yeah, Dallas does have a team. True. I wasn't thinking. You're so right. My point still stands though. Do you feel like the northern states have more of a right to a hockey team than the southern ones? I think a state with hockey culture has more of a. It's not that they have more of like a right to it. I think it just makes more sense for them to have a team, right? Then you got New York, which has like, do they have like what fucking three teams? They got the New York Islanders, New York Rangers. Only the two, but still, it's too many. Wisconsin and Michigan, I think, are the main ones that come to mind. Yeah, that would make sense to have a team. But I feel like the way the NHL works is they just go where the money is. So it's like, or I don't even know. Like, I don't get the idea of Dallas. Does Dallas have a big hockey culture? I don't know. I don't know shit about Southern U.S. I don't know shit about the U.S. in general. Okay, we'll come back to this drum thing in the back. They're supposed to expand to New Orleans soon and then back to Arizona. Who is? The Dallas Stars? They're expanding to New Orleans, but they're going to be the New Orleans team. New Orleans, I feel like kind of makes sense, or at least Louisiana, because they have like French roots. So they probably watch. Maybe they watch hockey. I don't know. No, not the Stars. The NHL in general. Boo. I get it. Americans have more people, so it just makes more sense for it to be marketed more towards the states. But it's like hockey is like the majority of the NHL is still Canadian. Like I think something like 50% of the players are Canadian at this point, or they were. I don't know if they still are actually. Those numbers are probably wrong. You're a bad hockey fan. I know, dude. I haven't fucking followed hockey in years. I used to follow it religiously when I was like a teenager, but that's because I played hockey and that's all we talked about like at games, you know. So I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I am not a fake fan, but I'm definitely an uninformed fan. I have my loyalties to my teams, and that's it, really. Playoff Hella Buick is notoriously bad. Is that a guy? I'm gonna assume it is. Last time it was the Blues versus the Jets in the first round of the playoffs was 2019, and we all know what happened that year. I think you're the only one who knows what happened that year, dude. Nobody follows the Blues. Well, yes, that's the Jets goalie. When I'm the president, everyone will follow the Blues or death. I think a lot of people are gonna choose death, dude. I get it, Victoria. Like, it's not your fault. It's where you were born, okay? So it's more your parents' fault than anything that you're a Blues fan, but, like, I've never actually ever met a Blues fan in my life other than you. I'm not gonna lie. That's fine. Population control, demand goes down, price goes up. I'm a hero. You really are rich, dude. Yeah, the population control talking points, insane. How much farmland are you buying up these days? Yeah, but that's why people want the population control, so the prices can go down. I feel like this would twist. How would I do a twist? Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't think that makes sense. I don't even know, dude. These shapes are cool and all. I just like there's always just like something that's like 10% wrong with them that bothers me. I don't know. There's a lack of appeal, and I just can't put my finger on what's causing it. Probably just my design. Hey Dingus, what up, Kurt? How you doing, big dog? Been a minute. That looks stupid. Well, yeah, 60 seconds passed. Funny man. Funny man. How's your weekend going, dude? You excited for the long weekend? You're in school, right? So you get to benefit from the long weekend? Just gonna leave it blank. Online college every day is a weekend? That sounds really nice, dude. Oh my god, I'm so freaking jelly. Guys, anybody want to sponsor me to be unemployed? I'm only a little expensive. What costs do you bring? Carrots, Wi-Fi, cookies, mortgage, condo fees, taxes, like uh, property taxes. What else? Food, obviously. Uh, huh. That's pretty much it. Westerners are the hardest to sugar baby because your prices are so damn high. This is true. I'm not really sugar baby material, I don't think. I'm kind of I'm almost expired, dude. I'm kind of out of my sugar baby prime. Also, I don't think dudes make for good sugar babies, you know. I just don't think there's a big enough market for it. Not that I don't think we should do it. I think we have the right to do it, but I just don't know that there's a big market for it, you know. Ladies kind of got a monopoly on that one. Well, it's not even a monopoly. It's just more like an absolute advantage, you know. I guess. What do you mean you guess? You think there's an argument for fellow sugar babies, sugar boys? I started editing previous chapters in lieu of writing new ones for now. Okay, that's fine. Just tightening it down, you know, refining things. In my head, boy toys are more popular. Yeah, in your head, but I guess you know I was about to say you're probably not the market for it, but honestly, guy sugar babies probably sell to gay rich men a lot more than you know gay rich gay rich women, straight rich women. I just don't know that the gooner market is as dominated by rich old ladies as like I would like it to be. You know, a guy can drink for sure, but the damn cover's almost done. I'll have to fucking release the shit soon. Fuck. Damn, you so mad, bro. What the fuck? You're almost done. Rejoice. Okay, I gotta look up how other people do these friggin' bags and shit. Let's go to ArtStation. Let's look up some reference. While that loads, I'm gonna go take a piss. I'll BRB. You know, I realized I didn't piss yesterday at all on stream. That was probably my first non-piss stream ever. I don't think I pissed. It's because I started my day really early. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'll be right back. Damn, bro, we got the freaking male feminist Tupac song. That's crazy. He was ahead of his time. People be calling him woke today, but he's just spitting truth. Done. I'm not yet 10% of the project. All right, spoke too soon. My bad. While he's gone, anyone got ideas for custom chocolates for Easter? What, you don't want my ideas, bro? All right, I see how it is. I see how it be. What's wrong with my ideas? You don't want any dick-shaped chocolates, cocklicks? You didn't want to interrupt my piss? Easter theme, please. Mm, I'm not sure dicks are Easter themed. Well, it depends on your interpretation of the Bible, I guess. You could do a dick, but instead of balls, he's got Easter eggs. Bunnies? Damn, bro. Bricked up. I'm gonna look up what's his name? In Hyuk Lee. I cannot read Korean names, but he does really good military gear. What up, KFC? How you doing, big dog? He did like a Kakashi drawing a long time ago. Okay, that works. See how he does the pouches here? Really nice. He even has the same general arc as I do. I think I think I'm gonna have the this thing lower. So I can have the thing rush here. Throw a little bit of a more of an edge to it. Come on, bitch. Go down. Shit. What inspired this? The bunnies or what I'm drawing? Right now I got Bunny Pirate, a Dino with bunny ears, a chibi bunny girl. Oh, you said chibi bunny girl, dude. Kirk, get some fucking cold water. Splash on your face, dude. If you're asking me what inspired this, like this, I have no idea. I don't know. I just wanted to draw a dude who wasn't in a freaking suit. I draw a lot of dudes in suits, so I do like the belt idea. I'm gonna apply that to this also. I might need to change this strap. And then I'm gonna make this whole section here all one giant thing. Like if this connects over to like this, that might be a little bit better. And then this can come back sort of like that. I'm filled with rage. Isn't his left arm too short? Okay, well, I had it flipped like this when you said left arm. Which arm? Who are you talking about, dude? This guy's arm? I don't think it is. I guess his forearm could be a little longer. Or not his forearm, the upper end of his arm could be a little longer. I don't think it's too short though. It definitely looks wonky, and I might take a picture of my own arm just to sort of reference. There's some weirdness. I'm kind of guessing the shapes here, and I think that's sort of the issue. So you are right that it looks weird, but I don't think it's too short. I don't think that's the issue. It might be though. I don't know. See, I like the variety in shapes, and I think one thing I'm noticing is he's got heavy line weight underneath this lip here, this lip here, this lip here. Everything else also up top here. So if I emulate that, so if I apply extra line weight here, here, will that make it look prettier? Kind of, a little bit. I don't know that I did it right, but what else do we got? So on his, it might be too jacked for reference. Are you talking about this guy? I'm not referencing his muscles. I'm referencing how he does the straps and the little satchel bags or whatever, saddle bags. Because that's sort of what I'm struggling with right now. The reference isn't about getting like a one to one. Huh? It might be too jacked for reference. Oh, my arm? No, my arm's not that jacked. I'm pretty flabby right now. I'm like I haven't trained in like almost 2 years, so I look soft. I look like a very normal man. This guy's probably more jacked than me. Unless you mean this guy's more jacked than me, in which case you're right. Yes, it will be. But I understand muscles, okay? So it's not so much like what I'm referencing. I'm not one thing to know about referencing, guys. I'm not always taking what I see directly and applying it. Okay? Sometimes I'm just using the general curves and stuff, and then if I need to make the deltoids bigger or biceps bigger, I can tweak those dials as I'm drawing it. But there are times if I'm taking my own photos, like for hands and stuff, I will do it one to one sometimes. Just depends. I sniff a furry. Kurt, are you a furry? Is that who you mean? I know Kurt's not a furry, but it's fun to ask him. Okay, how does he do the bottom? Sort of this oblong shape. So it does more of like a trapezius looking shape. Anyways, hello. Doing well? I'm doing great, dude. I'm freaking chilling. What about you? What about you, Mike? How you doing today? I do kind of like the general shape he's got with the strap sort of going through here. I'm gonna steal that. Mine looks like shit though. Okay, maybe not. Hey Snacky, what up NFT? How you doing, cutie pie? Dude, my armpits fucking ooh, they stinky, dude. I just got up to do a little stretch and they're I got a horrid whiff. I'm gonna go put on some antiperspirant and then I'll grab another carrot on the way back, I think. Alright. Better. Munched 4 carrots. I'm exhausted. 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. university. I'm so tired, but this PC sure knows how to make me not tired. What's wrong with your computer? Also, what are you studying in school, dude? I don't think I've ever asked. Or if I did, I forgot. I'm filled with wicked rage and unsolicited anger. Oh, that's cool, dude. Directed at what? What happened? Nothing. That looks real nice. All the satchels and pouches. Thanks, dude. I'm kind of struggling with the pouches right now a little bit. I'm trying to figure it out though. We had art class today, then Photoshop class. I don't know how to translate what I study in general to English. Want to see what I did in uni? Sure, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna like. I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna like this strap. But what other brushes do you use, Snack? Right now the two brushes I use are this brush here, this one here called DS, 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 DSS. It's a free brush I found on the internet. Um, I just liked an artist who did work with it, and I was like, I'll give it a try. And then for things like the eyes, I use the Kasem Soft Sketcher. Where the fuck is it? So this one's not free, but it's not expensive. I use this one, which is it's part of a whole series of brushes by Kasem, who's another streamer on Twitch. Shout out to Kasem for these great brushes. And I use his soft sketcher because it's got this nice, I don't know, it feels to me like a mechanical pencil. Whenever people are like, your work looks like it was done with a mechanical pencil, especially like if I pull up, where is it? Where the fuck is it? This guy here. A lot of people are like, this looks like it was done with mechanical pencil, and it wasn't. It was done with the Kasem Soft Sketcher entirely. So it's just this brush here. So those are basically the two brushes I use. So DSDS, DSS, and the Kasem Soft Sketcher. And this is $5 for these for the Kasem Soft Sketcher brushes off of Kasem's Gumroad, and you get like fucking, I don't know, all these brushes for the $5. So it's a pretty good deal. I like them. I don't regret buying them. It's probably my most used brush this year. And then DS, I've just sort of started introducing in the last like month or two, and I mostly do my body sketching with that. I did all of her with the exception. Actually, I did all of her with the DSDS brush, and then I did all of him with the DSDS brush minus the eyes. That I used the Kasem Soft Sketcher. I don't know. I just kind of was in the mood. I kind of popped between those two, but they're very similar, so I don't even know if you need to. But sent it. All right, let me take a little look. Okay, I'm going to switch over to Discord for this so we can look at what Mike's working on. Okay, I see. They got you doing life drawing and stuff. Okay, I see. They got you doing life drawing. Very nice, dude. So it seems like you're doing like a lot of traditional art and stuff like that in school. So you're probably in a generalized sort of art program, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's sick, dude. Sick. But yeah, so anyways, those are my brushes. That's all in one layer. Oh yeah, that was just me studying that. Okay. Can't get fooled again. Based. Remember, guys, when George Bush was the dumbest president we ever had? Good times. I'm so thirsty. I might get some water soon. I think I'm gonna bring this in so it doesn't feel like it's I'm not on the right layer. So it doesn't feel like it's stinging out as much. It'll give better three-dimensionality, I think, if I wipe it out a little bit, tighten it to the edge. A little bit. You're Canadian? Yeah, but I happen to live next to the U.S. I don't know if you're aware, Kurt, geographically, Canada's on the border of the U.S. And so, whatever they say tends to impact us, especially when they want to annex us and fuck our entire economy up. So I reserve the right to complain about their government from time to time. We's type of person to eat 2.0 lead? Huh. Sorry, I forgot that Canada was a minor power. Uh-huh. I'm not going to talk shit about your country. I could, but I won't. I'm going to be the bigger man here, Kurt. You really are full of rage today, bro. You need a Snickers, dog. I mean, you are the bigger man. I'm quite short. That's true. I'm not even that big. I'm like 5'8", so yeah, he's not that big. Yeah, thanks for the recap on the thing I just said. The best part of uni is they kind of got a room for people to take off their shoes and go sleep and lay down or whatever. Damn, you sound like you're in some sort of Scandinavian country, dude. That sounds so foreign. How did I do the wrinkles on her? Well, I mean, obviously I painted them, but anytime. Thanks, man. I'm tired. I see that, dude. What time is it where you're at? It's not even close to your bedtime, is it? Or is it? It might be actually. 8:24 p.m. Oh, that's pretty early. That's pretty early. 'Do you think this is gonna feel like wool if I like do these like weird little lines? 'Uh, it's some sort of texture, that's for sure. I don't know if I like that though. I don't like that. I was editing all day and didn't even get past the chapter. Oh, damn, dude. I hate those days where you're just drawing the same thing over and over and over and over, spinning your wheels, going fucking crazy. I mean, you guys have seen me do it. You've seen me rage out on stream as I endure it. So, it's not a big surprise to you guys that I obviously get super duper frustrated. I think Kurt, I think honestly, the reality is part of being an artist, and not to get like too sappy or like hippy dippy with my philosophy here or whatever, but I think part of being an artist is sort of you know, that's kind of the fun of it is sort of putting yourself through these things in a way. It's like it's got its value not in terms of like the output that you develop like through the product that you're trying to produce, but in terms of like character building and sort of an understanding of yourself and your own spirit and your will to keep going. So I think it's important. As much as those days that suck ass and make you want to fucking punch drywall exist, they're the reasons that the days where you're absolutely on fire feel so good. You know, at least that's what I think. I think without those fucking headache days where you just want to like just end it all, like I don't think that the good days would feel as good. You mentioned a little about that when you talked about your stream schedule too. I appreciate you sharing your opinion on this. My my stream schedule, as in like the thing that keeps me consistent, or the oh yeah, sort of the days I don't want to go live. You mean? Is that what you mean? Yeah, like there's pretty often days where I just don't wanna stream. More often than not, I would say in a lot of cases. And I think once I actually do press the go live button and I'm live for a bit, I quite enjoy it. Like I'm enjoying myself right now. I have fun. And if I don't like it, the worst outcome that I could possibly face is I just end my stream after like 2 hours. I try to commit to like 2 hours, you know? It's very rare that I'll do less than that, or very even rarer that I'll cancel unless like I need to. And I've been a little bit more liberal with canceling my streams these days, just because I'm like, I think it's better that I take an L and just not stream on a day where I'm really, really not feeling it, or I'm really grumpy or whatever, right? Rather than try to power through and risk damaging my enjoyment of streaming, or risk damaging your enjoyment of my stream, right? If I go on stream and I'm a miserable piece of shit like the whole time, it's not fun for you guys, right? Obviously, like, there's times where it's appropriate to be a little frustrated. Sometimes there's not, and I still stream it, But I don't know. You don't want to overdo it, It's like I picture all these things in my life as these little dials, okay? And I can crank the dial to 100, but there's gonna be like second and third order effects down the line that are just like not visible right away. And I think with time and experience, and as you get older, you start to recognize these second and third order effects down the line, like the ripple effects of the sort of decisions you make in the moment. And these things, I mean, that's sort of what comes with getting older and wiser. You just start to understand yourself a little bit better and how to regulate these dials and keep the fucking calibration nice and good, Anyways. You mentioned you're more rigid about art pursuits than others may be. I think so. You know what, Ori? Part of me wonders, okay, so I feel like we're going to get really like self-reflective here. Part of me wonders if I am actually rigid and critical about my own pursuit of art, or if my brain wants me to tell myself that I am because it makes me feel like I'm special, or it makes me feel like I'm superior, or it's like some weird thing where I frame myself as unique because I have this drive that nobody else has. So I don't know, I don't know. I think it's a bit of both, where I think it's a bit of like, I do have maybe a stronger drive than other people to improve, but I don't think it's the strongest drive. I think there are people, even in my community, that draw way more than I do, and that have that hunger to get better way more than I do, right? So it's like, you are the anime protagonist. That's what I sort of worry about. That's not the sort of presentation I want for myself, where it's like, well, I'm just so freaking quirky. I'm that guy. I'm him, But I don't know that I am. I don't think I am, obviously. I think the thing is, I think you have to, here's what I think. Here's my summary on this whole discussion. I think you have to trick yourself into thinking you're him, because if you don't have that foundational belief, then you will never be him, okay? You have to delude yourself into thinking you're the thing that you want to be for you to be that thing, It's sort of like a chicken and egg situation. I don't know, that's how I see it. Where it's like, if I talk good shit, then maybe I'll back it up, or maybe I'll be more likely to back it up. It depends, I guess. I'm writing it down. I am conflicted on that advice, though, because I do think, on the other hand, there's a lot of studies that show... Bro, I'm tuning you out. Easy, no problem, dude. I think there's a lot of studies that show that if you actually sort of say that you accomplish a thing before you accomplish it, it makes you less likely to accomplish it. Because you give yourself the dopamine... let's say I start working out, right? And I go around to everybody and I'm like, hey, guys, I'm going to work out, and in 6 months, I'm going to be jacked as shit. I'm going to be fucking 6% body fat, whatever the fuck your goal is. And I go around telling everybody that. And everybody's like, that's so good, that's so awesome, that's so this, that's so that. I'm so proud of you. And it's like, you haven't done shit yet. People are saying this because they want to encourage you. But you get the dopamine response from people talking to you about this shit. And as a consequence of that, you're less likely to actually follow through, because you've already got the satisfaction feeling in a more synthetic way than if you actually accomplish the thing. And so because of that, you're less likely to pursue that thing. So it's a double-edged sword, where I think on the one hand, you have to adopt the identity without going to the point where you give yourself credit for things that you don't actually deserve. Does that make sense? I don't know. It makes sense to me in my head, but... Yeah, like, the more people you tell about a project, the more set up for failure you get. That's why I limit who I tell about projects. That's my approach, I think, and you guys will probably realize it, like, you've probably seen it, where if somebody's like, let's do this, or let's do that, let's add this channel to the Discord, let's do this, or whatever, I end up being like, well, guys, are we actually going to do that? Because I feel like I've recognized in myself that I say these things, and I get these grandiose, like, not manic, but almost like manic-esque sort of motivational bursts where I'm like, I'm going to do all this crazy shit, I'm going to do a film, and then I just fall off of it, or whatever, right? And then, and I think I've done that so many times that I try and hedge all of my the things that I do by being like, well, is it gonna? I give myself an out. I think, which maybe isn't the way to do it. Maybe I should just own not doing something. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna get water. I've been freaking yapping. I need some. I need to quench my thirst. But yeah, so back to what you were saying, Ori. I don't know that I'm more rigid or more regimented or more disciplined in my pursuit of getting better at art. But I think if I convince myself that I am, maybe I'll be more likely to seek out behaviors and patterns that make me that thing. You know what I mean? I work harder if someone's looking. That's true. I'm kind of like that too. That's why I always go into the office. Even though I have the option to work from home, I go into the office all the time just because I know I'm going to work better. That social pressure makes me a lot more conscientious. And I think that's why streaming's so good for me because of the social pressure of showing up. I'm so insecure about people not liking me that it makes me want to impress people, if that makes sense. I go into the office for the donuts. What are you, a cop, bro? And I don't mean the pastries. If you catch my drift, what are you, fucking gay juggalo? What are you talking about? Gigolo is the word I was looking for, not juggalo. Why have a lunch break when the break room has free snacks? I don't know where you guys work. I don't get free shit at my work. I get free work. Yeah, I don't know, dude. How do these attach? He just puts them like on the thing, huh? Or he has it like attached with like some sort of like strap thing. Catch these hands. Catch this nut in your mouth. You caught my attention again? All it took was talking about gay sex to get you back here, huh? I see how it is. I respect it. So free that they pay you to do the work. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I know I ended up working late on Friday. Or not Friday, I didn't work yesterday. On Thursday, and I had to work overtime, except it wasn't overtime because it was free labor because I didn't clock in overtime. I was there like an extra hour to help out some buddies with something. I didn't have to stay. I just kind of did it because I like hanging out with my boys, and also it was just a nice thing to do for them. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with the story. Anyways, I hope you never become part of a car crash compilation. Kurt, that might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me. I'm not even joking. No, I can't do this fucking song anymore. I can't do half of these songs, bro. I need I need Spotify to give me better recommendations, dude. I'm not. Come on, AI, do your thing, bro. You're supposed to be smart. Everything trending is awful. I checked. Yeah, I bet you did. I don't hate trending shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't hate something because it trends necessarily. But it does. I think there's a part of me that doesn't like when another person or if the music I listen to or something starts trending because then I feel like less quirky and unique. I'm no longer that guy, you know, with the cute exotic music flavors. We had some weird tangents going on here that I kind of want to clean up. I just don't. Also, this doesn't feel like it's connected to anything, which kind of bothers me. So I gotta figure that out. So I think if you have like a sort of a belt like this, these would sort of strap on somehow, right? Like on the I think. I don't even know. It's getting so messy in this area that it's starting to feel like a freaking AI like drawing. Like it just doesn't make any sense. If somebody saw this section, they'd be like, an AI drew this, bro. I gotta clean this shit up. Snag, I need help with my perspective again. Oh boy, you're always giving me challenges, dude. All right, let's see your perspective problem. I'm gonna redo that area there. I might just do an interesting. bag, maybe. I don't even know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something. Did you post it in critiques or what? Whoa. Dude, this song sucks too. Oh yeah. Sent? Alright. Oh boy, dude. You really torture me with these. Okay, these are tough, man. Mostly because there are a lot of here, let me pull up what I'm looking at. So there are a lot of they're like high perspective, like I don't know, dude. I'm just not very good at environments and props. And you do a lot of environments and props. I think looking at it here, I'll just pull it up on the stream. No, I don't apologize. It's not your fault. I'm just saying like it's difficult for me to give feedback because I'm just not very experienced in this type of stuff. One thing I'll say, I can critique the guy mostly. I'm not sure what the perspective's supposed to be. Because right now you have all these lines sort of going to one vanishing point, right? Like that, and then that. Like these are all going basically to one VP around here. Okay, so your VP, you've got a 1 point perspective, which means whatever this table is should probably also be 1 point perspective. But then you have these going off to a different VP, I think, from the looks of it. Like they're going off over here. So I think you got some you got to commit to a perspective here. And look, objects can have different perspectives, right? Like you can have a box in perspective that has like let's say this perspective, and then you can have objects on that box that follow their own perspective. So like this could be it still sort of has to be the same sort of top down look though, right? Like if you're doing a box with objects on it, these objects still have to exist in the same space. And I'm trying to think. I think that's more about like the height of the VPs. So I think the issue here is you have different horizon lines. So if I'm looking at this, these go off over. I guess they could be going off over here. So maybe they're on the same horizon line. Like let's say I put a horizon line in here. Yeah, I guess these are technically both on the same horizon line. Now, one thing I will say is your perspective on these objects are not following this. So this, if I were to box it out, this is a lot more like if this was following this grid here, it'd be a lot more like this, right? Like the jar would have like a round lid. You'd see a lot more of the top of the lid here. And then you'd see, general, I don't know. If it's round, it'd be something like that. This also does not follow the same perspective. Like this would be going something like that. Like the perspectives just aren't consistent. Oops, I'm drawing on the layer. Oopsies. Like this, like you should box these out, okay? So if your goal is to have like a table with objects on it, like these objects should more or less align with the perspective that you're presenting here. And now you can rotate these, so it doesn't have to be exactly like that. So you can have sort of a like a different tilt to it, but it still sort of has to feel like it's on that table. And the way you're going to be able to tell that is how much of the top of the plane you can see, right? Like if you're seeing this much of the table, I'm assuming it's on a table and not just the ground or whatever. But if you're seeing this, you have to apply it across. So like these just don't feel like they're in the same perspective as they should be. Like this should be coming up a little bit more like this. Like because your VPs are so close to each other, you're getting this sort of like fisheye or distortion as things get closer. They get a little bit more distorted. My advice to you would be to widen your VPs a lot to the point where it's like your vanishing points are off your canvas. Like you could have another vanishing point like over here, and then now, well, this guy's in the way, but you could have a vanishing point. Let's just drag that horizon line out there, like over here, and then another vanishing point for that object. I don't know, say over here, roughly on the horizon line. And then it's going to feel a little bit less like it's in forced perspective. It's going to be a little bit more of an annoyance to draw. But this is how you get to the perspective to feel like it has better depth. Like right now, the perspective, your VPs are too close, so you're getting what we call my teacher in college used to call this the sliding floor of death, where basically like the vanishing points are so close to each other that it feels like you get this downward slope here that everything's just going to slide off and fall off of. And I think, see, if you look at like the plane here, like versus the plane here, like if I have a table, like a floor, and the floor is like this versus the floor like this feels like it's a lot more grounded, right? Like I feel like I could stand on this table here than over on this table here. Like this one I'd be falling off of probably. It's more like a slide. Does this make sense? Your vanishing points are too close together. That's what I would say. So actually, I'm going to leave this up. I'll take a little screenshot of it. And then I'll get rid of that. So for the guy, uh, I guess the guy's perspective isn't as important. So let's reduce the opacity on this. We'll do it on a layer above. What's the goal? Is it to have the head being top down? Because you can box it out, right? Like if you want his head looking down, have like a box for his like skull, just as a guide. You're not necessarily sticking to the box, but it'll let you play with perspectives to get an idea of the angle of the head you want. The back of the head's a little long here, but you get the idea. And then you can sort of decide what you want, like his neck here. Your guy doesn't really have a neck. I'll give this guy a neck here. And then this is following this perspective, so we're going down here. And then maybe you want like a hand. I don't know what you want here. Like a hand, let's say, doing something. That's not. I would take a picture of my own arm to sort of get this perspective if I were you, and then get an opposing tilt on the shoulder angle here. It's a chick. Okay. So make the rib cage a little smaller then if it's a lady. Lady. I'm trying to figure this out. So if it doesn't sound clear what I'm saying, it's because I'm still sort of working it out in my head too. But drop the shoulder down maybe, and then do something like this, like with an extreme perspective. I don't really know. It really, I think your hand might be too big here in the foreground. It reminds me a little bit of like a FNAF, sort of like anthropomorphic. What are those things called? The animatronics or whatever. I don't know, dude. Is this sort of the idea that you're going for? Then I would have like the table sort of a little different perspective here. That leg's like tilted, but and then I'd put all the objects on here using the same perspective. You can like freehand whatever you want here. I don't know, dude. Like I think your big issue is just sort of the angle and the perspective on things. Pretty much, but I need her to look into the camera. Okay, well she could still have her head tilted down and look into the camera. Like you can have the eyes look up. If you want to look in the camera, I guess the camera's like over here. You want her to have like a crazy look, right? So it'd be like I don't know. The face obviously could be refined. But the idea is, just the perspective, I think doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I think that's what's holding back your drawing right now. And I think it's very ambitious to sort of be doing like forced perspective stuff like this. And I encourage you to continue because you'll get a lot better at it than I am, for sure. Because I don't practice a lot of this stuff. Um, how'd that work? Yeah, that'd be about that angle. I'm just freehanding this shit right now, so it should be a little straighter. All right, I'll screenshot that, and then hopefully that helps. Actually, I'll flip it this way. Does that help, KFC? Hopefully that helps a little bit. That's the best I could probably do for something like this, without fleshing it out more. Um, I hope it gives you like a sort of guide to go off of, and a little bit of a fresh perspective, or fresh perspective, no pun intended, fresh idea on how to apply perspective to your drawings. I think the big issue is your vanishing points are just too close, though. Should I use 3D software? I think you should try and box things out more. I think you'll recognize eventually, like your brain right now is not trained on perspective. And I think using 3D software, yes, it's probably a decent shortcut. But I think if your goal is to have a long lasting ability to draw in perspective with less of a dependence on reference, then I think actually forcing yourself to box things out and think about things critically a little bit when you're doing your perspective animations, maybe go back and watch some YouTube videos and double check things through like tutorials or whatever, is probably the best way to go. And then have a reference on like a 3D software reference on the side as well to help like guide you. I think when you're doing perspective stuff like this, you need to really be thinking about stuff a lot more, because it's not stuff that's intuitive to the human brain without a lot of training. And it's one of those things that like you just need to be able to you have to practice it a lot before it becomes something that you intuitively know, like how to rotate a box in space or whatever, right? Like that's not something I could do when I was a first year student. These things come with time and practice and like being able to spin a box. These are good exercises to sort of get these muscle memories down. It's the same with me right now, struggling with these bags, right? These saddle bags. It's not something I'm instinctively good at, so it's something I have to analyze this, use it as reference, understand why it works, where he's putting the line weight, why mine doesn't feel right, why his does feel right, all this shit, right? Like these are things that I people take for granted, but these are things you have to work through before you sort of are able to just freehand stuff. And so I would say my advice to you would be try to not freehand as much as you can to start for like a solid probably 6 months. Just actually draw out the grids, plan everything, make sure it's in proper perspective, make sure your objects work in the same perspective. And it might feel a little stiff at first, and I think that's fine. I think what happens is going to feel stiff, and then you're going to get a little bit more comfortable for doing it, and then you'll be able to get a little bit more organic, freehanding it, and I don't know. That would be my suggestion, but Yeah, I didn't use reference at all. That makes sense. That makes sense. I just it's very tempting to skip steps and to jump ahead in processes and assume you'll get it later, but you might actually just be delaying you ever actually being able to grasp it as a fundamental, right? So try and force yourself to do the uncomfortable thing and apply the grids and the references. And I think Clip has built-in grids that you can actually just sort of that you can also use. So isn't KFC drawing on a phone? Are they? Ames moi? How you doing, Ames? How you doing? I feel like it's been a minute. How you doing, Ames? I just wanted to draw something Metropolis. I get you, dude. I get you. I still think you should. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm awesome. How are you? I'm chilling, dude. I'm chilling. Today's a pretty nice day. I'm enjoying it. You know, just getting some drawing in. I think whenever I'm off stream and I do a drawing like this, I was drawing this guy off stream, obviously, because you didn't see me draw a lot of this on stream. But when I draw off stream and I get to a point in the drawing that I actually really enjoy, it makes being live a lot more enjoyable because then I get to work on something that I don't have to actually like figure figure out. I'm basically just going in and doing finishing touches, which is sort of the place I like to be on stream. Because doing a lot of conscious, focused work while I'm live is incredibly difficult for me. It's it's tough. Being able to just sort of like I like to do all of my sort of exploration and stuff off stream, and then on stream I just like to do a little bit more detail work or cleanup work. I think that's sort of the pipeline that works best for me. I've noticed. And it's not that I want it to be that way. It's just sort of the way it works out. So yeah, it's a coochie kind of day. Bro getting coochie. Hell yeah, dude. We love it. I do wonder if I should give this guy like satchels there. I don't really know. Okay, everybody, plane date is now postponed until the kit plane gets delivered and we build it. Help? But you guys are doing freaking Legos for your first date? Dude, this guy's just got you doing his chores. What's going on? You deserve better, Victoria. All right? What a strange first date. It's a literal plane you build? As in the plane he's going to fly will be built by us, so if it crashes, I can only blame myself. That's so cute. I fuck with that. Have fun on your date. All right, look, I will admit I'm a little bit of a lazy dater. I'm a coffee date kind of guy. Okay, at least for date one. I don't like to hard commit on the first date or in general, to be quite honest. But that's just me. I recognize that some ladies want to be wined and dined, and I'm just maybe not your guy for that. At least not on day one. That arm still looks fucked. I don't really know how to fix it, but so you won't wine and dine Boba? Well, Boba's basically my wife at this point, so I don't think it would be first date. He's been here for like almost a year now. We're practically married. Hashtag is slightly gay today. What's the writing on the right of my schizophrenic rambling over here? I was watching an artist called EO58, and I basically spent 3 hours writing a bunch of notes to decipher sort of his process, and then I applied his process to this character. So what you see here is me just these are recordings from me watching his live stream on YouTube, taking down notes, observing sort of stroke pattern, color patterns, things that he uses, behaviors that he has, and sort of the pressure he applies when he's doing his weight, the value percentage range he works in, the level of saturation he works in, all this shit. These are just sort of notes that I took based off of watching him, and then I slowly went through and applied them to this lady, and it worked out. I think it worked out. Damn, you are a genius. I need to get like you. Just taking notes. That's so sick. I do think, guys, unironically, I've gone on this fucking rant like a million times. I think artists need to start studying like academics and less like artists. Whenever people are drawing, a big pet peeve I have with artists is they'll always do shit like I'm doing a study, okay? And it's like, what's their study? Well, I see a turtle here. I'm going to draw a turtle. And then they draw the turtle, blah blah blah, big barrel chest, whatever. And they're like, look at that, I did a study. It's like, hey, what the fuck did you learn? You just copied what you saw in front of you. How are you studying anything? What are you analyzing? Like I've got this up right now and I'm trying to think like, okay, where's he putting the line weight? Where's the darkest point on this piece? Where's the secondary like values here? So you've got a little bit of gray here. Pure black is like reserved for these areas. Study gatekeep. No, dude, study shame. Okay, I want you. People should be ashamed of the way they study in art. Okay, I think there's a cultural thing in art where people think that studies are just drawing what they see, and that's part of it. But you have to be critical about what you see and try to understand why it is the way that it is. Right? Like if I look at this, I can tell a lot by just this brushstroke right here, right? What can I tell? Well, I can tell that he probably has a brush with pressure sensitivity that is applied that makes the brush like applies weight based off the pressure he applies, which means my brush wouldn't really work because it stays an even size across the board, right? Okay, so that's probably not going to work with the brush I'm using. Now, if I used an ink brush, maybe I could replicate something like that, maybe. So let's see. Let's grab an ink brush. My Jiwa pen here, okay? Now if I do that, can I get his brush stroke down? Maybe, maybe not. This brush doesn't have the same sort of level of pressure sensitivity. Okay, now I'm noticing the pressure sensitivity is there. I'm getting a similar pattern to him. What else can I tell? I can tell that he did his stroke from the top down. Okay, so he started on this end and he went down to this end, releasing in pressure as he goes down. See? See how it goes thicker at the top, thinner at the bottom? It's because he's lifting his hand as he's pulling away on the stroke. You can learn so much, and that's how you should be studying. These are the things that you should take away from an art piece when you're doing a study. And the thing is, if you do these things and you only do them visually, like let's say you're studying math, guys, and you look at a math equation and you go, "Yep, got it." No, you don't. You got to write it down. You got to practice it. You got to do the actual thing yourself. You have to take notes. You have to learn the formula. You have to memorize the formula. These are all things that you can apply to art. Okay. So yeah, so shame to people who just do studies. And it's not a consequence of people being bad artists or whatever. I just don't think people know that like the people who get really, really good at art, maybe not in every case, maybe some people just sort of genetically are better suited to improving at art. But like the reality is a lot of people who get significant improvement are probably doing a little bit more conscious thinking when they're working through stuff. And in my case, I have a terrible memory, so I just write it all down. Okay? And that gives me like a literal roadmap to get the result I want. So it works out for me. Anyways, that's just sort of you guys caught me. That's my pissed off rant about how people study. But some people just learn different and never learn how they learn, so they take longer. Yeah, right. Okay, so I should caveat all of this by saying just because I do this stuff doesn't mean it works for everybody. But I would be hard pressed to say that it's not valuable to everybody, okay, to a degree. It might not be the most efficient way for people to learn. It certainly feels like it is for me. What fucking layer did I draw this on? Huh? Oh, I did it on this one. Okay. But like, I would imagine that having notes to reference is good for everybody. Okay. Doesn't mean that you writing these down are going to help them like cement the thing that you're studying like super well. But Twitch did not like me calling your aunt schizophrenic. Did it get removed? Yeah, my manic bipolar episode talking about study methods. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Anyways, Ames, that's it. That's my notes here. It's just me doing a study, basically, without actually drawing what I'm seeing, just writing down what I'm seeing. Because I think to me that's more valuable for me personally. Okay, so it's a thing I'm trying to do a little bit more. And I've done it quite a bit. I think I've done it on other drawings also, you know. Anyways. Thank you. Your rants are actually helpful. Thanks. I hope they come off as passionate and not angry, because that's definitely more what it is. There are genetic artists, genetic superior artists. Well, this is gonna get controversial, but I do think to a degree there are some people that are just going to have an easier time improving in art than others. Okay, like, but that doesn't mean that I think the people who have a harder time improving in art shouldn't pursue art. And I don't. That doesn't mean that I don't think they can achieve a certain level. But the reality is, it's not like there are some people that have advantages in life that are going to make them better suited for certain tasks. And like, I'm 5'8". Okay, I'm not going to be dunking in the NBA. Like I mean, there's a chance that maybe if I trained my whole life, I'd be that one 5'8" guy who consistently dunks in the NBA. But the odds of that are pretty low, right? So there are things that I'm better suited at towards other people. Okay, and I think that applies to art as well. There are some people who have better spatial awareness about things. Okay, think of people who are better at moving their bodies, dancing, athletes, things like that. They have a better understanding of their spatial surroundings, and so they just like intuitively, right? Like I'm not very good geographically. If you don't give me like Google Maps, I'm gonna get lost in an area that I've been in 50 times. I don't know why. That's just how my brain works. I'm just not good at geographical orientation. And so there are like everybody sort of has like these little quirks or genetic. I don't even know if it's genetic. It might be. It's probably genetic in my case because everybody in my family seems to have it. But I do think that learning art, the way I see it, is people have different XP modifiers. So to get from level 1 to 50, let's say, for one person, you might go plus 20, like level 1, 2, plus 20, level 3. Like these are the skill experiences that you're building up as you go on, right? You have a consistent skill experience. Some people have a modifier to this, okay? Some people have a 10% boost to this. So maybe some people get plus 22 every time. They just intuitively grasp things a little bit better than others. Okay? Or they can move their hand a little bit more dexterously than some other people can, right? And I think this is reality. I don't think it shouldn't be a thing that deters you from pursuing the things that you want, and it shouldn't be a thing that you use as a justification to not go after the things that you want. But I think it's a reality that we live in, is that not everybody is equal, not everybody is perfectly the same. Okay, and that's what makes people interesting and diverse at the same time. But it also means that there are some people that are going to have skill advantages that other people don't. And the more we recognize that and we play it into society, the more we can actually help people out or find other ways to get around sort of advancing the things that we want to do and the skills and the abilities that we want to pursue, with sort of the circumstances we're dealt at birth. There it is. This is getting a little bit too neo-Nazi-ish, a little bit too genetic predetermined-ish. And so I would say take it with a grain of salt. I think it applies, and I don't think it's not true. But I don't think it's something that you should lose sleep over, or that should cause you any sort of hesitancy to pursue any craft in anything in life or any pursuit in general. Okay, but I do think it is something that's real, and yeah, that's it really. So yeah, I think there are people that learn faster than others. That's it. That's basically what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean that if you don't apply certain things to the way that you learn, like in my case, writing things down, or maybe in your case, listening to a recording 50 times in a row. I don't know, whatever your thing is, whatever gets your dick hard and helps your brain retain the information, that could still give you the edge. Like no carpal tunnel, exactly. Some people have carpal tunnel and they just literally can't draw as long as others. Okay, that's a big one. That's a physical one, right? Not necessarily your brain, just sort of the way you are. Do you use a drawing tablet with a screen or no? I do. I do. But that being said, I didn't always. I have most of my digital drawing life, I should say. I mostly drew traditionally before I got into tablets. And then I got a Wacom Intuos, I think. Whatever the cheap $50 one is that doesn't have like a screen. I used that for years. And then I eventually became an art student, and I was like, maybe I should get a proper tablet for school. And I bought a Cintiq 16. I don't think it's HD. I think it's just the 16, Cintiq 16. It's probably HD. I don't really know, but yeah, I just use that, and I'm happy with it. Wait, we're matching. I got both of them. Twinsies, dude. Hell yeah. How do you like it? Do you prefer with a screen or without? I think the obvious answer is probably with. It's just a lot more intuitive to see your hand and the lines appear where you stroke them, right? Versus like imagining where the lines are going to be based off the other screen you're looking at. But there are people that are like really skilled artists that just stick to one for years, right? Like I think Cynics still uses an Intuos. I don't think Cynics uses a graphic tablet. I think he uses the non-graphic one where like you stare at the screen. I get kind of lazy and it's easier to just connect a tablet without a screen. Okay, fair enough. Cynics uses XP Pen Deco, but not exclusively. He has a screen tablet as well. Is XP Pen Deco like a non-screened pen or non-screen tablet? Because I just remember him having like some jank ass tablet back in the day that he would use, and he would put like a piece of paper on it, so it felt like he was drawing on paper. I tried that tech; it just didn't really work for me very well. I'll stick to the non-screen one for my posture. That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. Yeah, it probably fucks your posture up to be looking at your head, like looking straight down at your table all the time. Unless you've got like a mount arm on your desk. I think Narn has one of those, and they're pretty sweet. The thing is, I feel like I would lean my weight into it and just like shift the position around all the time. But I also have I have a shoulder injury that prevents me from drawing from my shoulder very much. So I draw from my wrist. So you'll often see me doing these small sort of flicks and building up lines rather than doing a single stroke and doing like a big line all at once, you know? And it's just sort of the way I learned. Not as a consequence of the shoulder, as a consequence of me having bad habits. The shoulder thing just makes it like a lot more beneficial as a technique. Like I think my palm is always flat to the tablet. Like I don't think I ever lift my hand to draw something, except for maybe a circle. Like if I'm drawing a head, I'll probably start off pretty loose, but otherwise, my palm, the meat of my palm is always flat to the tablet. My neck hurts every time I draw traditional. The trick is just to become like me and have a rounded back and a turtle neck, you know? And then the pain goes away as your body adapts and you get into this deformed shape. It's just optimized for drawing with your head looking straight down. I'll pass, thanks. All right, sue yourself, dude. I'm just saying. Does frozen broccoli cook well? Probably. That arm's a little long, huh? Like his other arm wouldn't be that long. I think the tech here is just gonna be lift the hand and then just make the strap longer. Maybe lift the whole thing. I don't even know. Go away, turtle. feel like the forearm would like bend in, you know? I don't think it would bend out. I'm just gonna cheat it. I'm gonna use my liquefy. Ooh, that looks fucked up. Okay, whatever. Gives me a good little base to work off of. I don't really like how big this is at the bottom here. I like the shape of the shoes. I just don't like the shape of the pants. I think they could taper down a little bit more. What's the one fruit or veggie you hate? Me? I don't really hate any veggies. I'm not a big fan of Brussels sprouts, I will say. Or sorry, not veggies. I don't hate any fruits. I'm not a big blueberry guy. I'll eat them, but they're not going to be my first pick, you know? Every single blueberry is very hit or miss. Yeah, it's kind of a toss up. I just don't I don't like they're nothing special to me. I will say I think not for the health benefits, but for the taste alone, I think blueberries are overrated. Like crazy overrated. Everybody freaking loves blueberries apparently, and they're in everything, but they're not that like I don't know, dude. There's better fruits. Strawberries top tier, bro. Strawberries mint. Sun Gold kiwis, mint. Bananas, S plus tier. Literally no better fruit than a banana. I'm a big mango hater. Fuck mangoes. Yeah, they're kind of bland, eh? They're not horrible. I don't mind the texture. Watermelon all day. Watermelon's good. My issue with melons is they're just so fucking hard to like get. Like, there's such a an inertia boundary for me to want to eat a melon because I'm like, I gotta cut it up. I gotta get around the fucking like, it's just such a pain in the ass. Oranges are kind of like that too, where it's like, man, is this orange gonna be a pain in the ass to peel? Is it gonna fucking stick? Am I gonna have to cut it with a knife? I like eating my orange slices whole, you know? I like a nice naked orange. I don't like cutting my oranges up and having them like half covered, like these little like seductive little wedges, you know? I don't like my oranges to look like this. You know, whatever. I think this is like an orange, right? This is like an orange slice. I don't like orange slices. I want this sexy little naked orange here, just asking to be plucked apart. This is what I'm talking about with the big nipple there at the top. That's what I want. That's what I want my orange to look like. But sometimes when you're trying to peel the orange and get it down to its skivvies like this, it's like the hide like sticks to it, and you're like, "Fuck, man, this orange is such a pain in the ass to like peel." That's my complaint with oranges. But oranges also top tier. Bananas the best. They come in a wrapper. They're easy to like you can hold it easily. It's basically like a burrito. Like it's got the you just peel the tinfoil back. In this case, it's organic. You can throw it fucking anywhere when you're done. I don't know. Bananas the best. Strawberries, same deal. Blackberries, underrated fruit. Blackberries are slept on. Um, And it's your favorite shape. Yeah, the more phallic, the better. Anything that looks like a ball or a dick, they just taste so good. Okay, I'm not even gay, but I'm just like, it just works. Cherries are good too. Yeah, but cherries have pits. My issue aims with cherries is I'm a volume eater. Okay, I like eating large quantities of food at once. Okay, I shove things in my mouth like an animal. I'm like, you ever seen your dog like wolf down like a burger that you dropped on the floor? That's me with everything. Okay, I eat that shit. My eyes roll back into the back of my head. You know, the heavy skin on my forehead like flops around as I'm eating aggressively, just like a dog. Okay. And my issue with cherries is same with sesame seeds is I have to eat them like microgram by microgram because the fucking cherries are just like I gotta spit out a pit every time. What up, Axum? How you doing, big dog? Welcome to the stream. We're talking about the types of fruits we like, and I've been sexualizing all the fruits I describe. It's just sort of a thing I do. You know, I'm not sorry. It's just it is what it is. You know. So, anyways, I like naked oranges. I like phallic-shaped fruits like bananas. If it looks like a nut, like an orange, great. Mandarins are even more nut-shaped, but they're a little too small for me. Thank you for the follow, big dog. But a cherry-flavored drink and stuff is top tier. Cherry flavoring is top tier. Axel, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Wolfpack. I should say, we've got a lot of new people in here. I'm going to do my little ad read real quick. It's going to take 2 minutes. You guys can tune me out if you want, but it is directed at the new viewers. We have a little Discord community. If you guys want to join the Discord, you can post your art in there. We have a critiques channel, and I'll go live on it, on stream, whenever you post in there, whenever I'm live. No rules, no nothing. And yeah, you can join the Discord, talk shit with us. I'm sure Ahmad will drop the Discord link in chat now. If you don't want to, that's fine, no pressure. Ad read over. Back to talking about dick-shaped foods. Already joined, but I'm cool and stuff. All right. Hell yeah, dude. Respect. But yeah, cherry-flavored foods. Cherry flavoring is the best artificial flavor there is. No rules in Discord. That's not what I said. Or maybe it is what I said. It's not what I meant. Get a load of this guy. This guy's great. I am, dude. I freaking rule. I'm not biased or anything. I'm just saying. But what were we talking about? Yeah, artificial flavoring. Banana flavoring is also pretty good too. You ever had those those little like marshmallow banana things? Those are pretty good. Have you ever tried the bananas? Have you ever tried the bananas that used to be popular before they got replaced by Cavendish? The thicker, more sweeter ones with like a plantain? I highly disagree. Peaches. Okay, my issue with peaches, guys, this also falls into the category of oranges a little bit. They're just fucking messy, dude. I can never, like, peaches are just, they're so juicy and succulent that when I bite into it, it fucking comes all over my face, dude. And then I gotta wash myself every time I eat a peach. And the thing with it, like, I would complain about that with kiwis and shit, but the thing is, a kiwi's so small, I could two-bite it, okay? I could two-shot it, alright? With a peach, it's like beating a fucking Elden Ring boss, dude. I gotta work that thing down for like 20 minutes. It's such a pain in the ass. That is a great description. Yeah. So I think kiwis aren't as bad when they explode all over you, but fucking peaches are just annoying. How are you two biting a kiwi? You gotta scoop that shit out with a spoon. No, dude, you eat it with the skin on. Like God intended. He eats a different kind. I eat sun gold kiwis. They look like normal kiwis, okay? Like these brown hairy nuts. And I go, bite one. More like this. Bite one. Okay? Maybe bite three. Maybe 3 bites. Maybe 3 bites, okay? If I'm being legit, maybe 3 bites. I don't scoop it out with a spoon, though. I just eat it straight. I'm an organic guy, okay? I don't wash my carrots. I eat them pesticides and all. It's good for you. What if the banana exploded like peaches? I don't think you're eating a banana, bro. Peach artificial flavor? I don't know, dude. That's a hot take. I don't know if I'm really feeling the artificial peach flavoring. What if the bananas exploded like a peach? Oh, that's what you said. Yeah, what if? I guess maybe I'd like bananas more. I don't know. I think a banana, if a banana exploded and it exploded in a direction, right? Because a banana is like this. I gotta draw the whole banana so I don't get fucking banned on Twitch here. But if the banana looks like this, and it squirts out in this direction, okay. Sorry about the visual, guys, but if it squirts out in this direction, it's not that bad. If it squirts out in like all directions, like if a banana just secretes explosion juice from every pore on its body, then they're like little grenades. I don't know why the fuck I'd be eating that. That looks terrible. But if it just shoots from the point that I'm biting into, then whatever. I can live with that, you know? Peach rings are peak. I don't know what a peach ring is. This is a good time to mention we are an 18 plus channel. If you're not 18, get the fuck out of here. Guys, why did you make him do this, y'all? They make me Axum, you have no idea, dude. They make me do so many things on a daily basis. I'm the victim here, okay? I'm the one who gets terrorized by my chat. See what I mean? I never requested a dick measuring bot in my community, okay? They made it themselves. Literally. They coded it themselves. This shit's out of my control, bro. Anyways, what the fuck was I doing? I was drawing this guy. NFT was the one who requested it. Was he? NFT, is this true? You're supposed to be the pure one, dude. You're my wholesome chatter. You're the one who doesn't know what enema means, or suppository, or just any chastity belt. Any of these words, really, you don't know what they mean, and it makes you better than us for it. Axum is rocking an 8.8 inch, but it's a 0.4 out of 10. Well, you gotta understand, 0.4 out of 10 is the stroke game. So he's got it as two-part. So he's got your stats, which is the inches, and then a 0.4 is how you use it. Okay, so that's a skill issue. So Botox isn't really gonna help with that one, unfortunately. I have receipts when you ask for dick ratings. I didn't even know yet what it was. Oh yeah. And now's a good time to leave a little disclaimer. Bobo will back up all of your chats with him, so be careful what you say. I kind of feel like I need like a better gesture on this guy. Like he curves. I'm trying to think of like where I want this leg to go. Bobo, are you Cat Snack's FBI agent? Be for real? He could be. He knows too much, though. I don't know if I'd want him to be like on the opposing team. I'm Canadian, so FBI is has a whole other meaning for me these days. Just kind of feels like a stiff pose. What if I have the leg like come out more? What's the Canadian equivalent of the FBI? Probably CSIS or CSEC or D&D kind of. Probably CSIS. Canadian Security Intelligence. Actually, CSIS is probably more CIA equivalent. FBI, we don't really have an equivalent. Actually, no, RCMP. RCMP is our FBI. Sorry, because they're federal. They do like federal investigations. Yeah, sounds a little sus. Whatever, dude. We got haters in chat, bro. Haters make the world go round. They kind of do. I live off haters a little bit sometimes in this community. Most of my haters are on Kick though, so lucky for me, I have a really bad habit of ignoring all my Kick chatters, so I tend to not see them very often. What made you think the pose was stiff? So when I'm looking at the pose, I'm looking at the gesture going through from toe up to head, and it's already kind of stiff. I think to fix it, I would either need to like there's two gesture lines that I see going through here. So there's the one from toe to head, or toe to collar, I should say. It's more like toe to head. Okay, and then there's another gesture line that I see sort of follow through like this. I'm trying to get that to feel appealing. Whereas if I have the leg come down like this, it just feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel organic. And so having a subtle tilt in the knee area makes it feel a little bit more organic as sort of a movement or a way a person would stand, you know? And I think part of that is also going to be me bringing this foot out so the weight is a little bit more centered. I don't know. It's sort of a feel thing. It's not really like there's nothing off the top of my head that I'm looking at being like, yep, this is stiff. It's just sort of like a thing I'm feeling based off of how I've drawn things in the past and how I felt like the drawing sort of resulted afterwards. Like there's a thing where when you draw, and then you guys have all experienced it. If any of you guys draw, you know what I'm talking about. You draw something, you're ecstatic. You think it's the best thing you've ever done. It's your magnum opus, okay? You go to sleep, you wake up the next day, and you're like, wow, this looks like shit, okay? And I've had that so many times that I'm able to sort of recognize the things, well, not all the time, but gradually, more and more, I'm able to sort of identify these things because I've slept on them enough that I can consciously know when I'm going to feel that in the future, if that makes sense, through experience. And so you could sort of, I don't know, you can intuitively, as you gain experience, you can intuitively feel the things that you know are not going to be as appealing because you've seen them enough times. And I just know the angle that I had that leg on when I was originally drawing it just felt off to me. So that's what I'm trying to avoid right now. The reality is I'm going to get frustrated and stop drawing the foot altogether, but, you know. Yeah, that's hella me. That's every artist, bro. That doesn't go away. Trust me. The worst is after you post it on social media. You're like living off the high of just having drawn it, and you're like, the world needs to see this. And then you post it, and then the next day you're like, oh my god, I fucking ruined my Instagram. I can't believe I posted this dog shit. Or you notice like the one mistake where you're like, fuck, the hand's too small. Fuck. You know, or something like that. Hashtag so relatable. Like this foot here, I'm wondering if having the foot come out like this is gonna make it feel like a better sort of gesture. I don't know though. I don't think so. I think actually bringing the foot in more, like in this direction, might feel a little bit better. I'm sleepy. Have a good stream. Bye bye. All right, peace, Ames. I appreciate you. I'll catch you in the next one. All right, Ames moi. MWA. Mothers with attitude. See you, dudes. It's all good, dude. I gotta do a thing after this, so I gotta go. I gotta take off at like 3 p.m. I'm doing a little Easter dinner with some people, so we'll wrap up in probably about 10 minutes. We should find somebody to raid, huh? You guys have any artists that you want me to raid? There's a guy streaming right now. I like your idea of bringing the foot in. Yeah, I just it's all a little dance of balancing and feeling Like I don't want to overwhelm. I don't want to draw too much attention to the feet. I want the focal area to really be this section here. This is where all the detail is going to be. The straps, all that shit. Then as you go down, it's going to be lighter and lighter in detail. And then like I really want the sort of visual clutter to be in the upper half. And so I worry about doing too much in the feet. I don't know. I don't have to worry about that right now. It's on the to-do list of things to worry about, but yeah, I was gonna say, I'm looking at Twitch right now, and it says Cat Snack viewers also watch, and there's some guy named Pussy. Some guy's name is Pussy. I don't think that's what he meant his name to be. Maybe it is. It's POOSE2. It's probably Poos, but I'm pretty sure it says. I don't know. To me, it's Pussy. Pussy 2. Maybe we'll raid Pussy 2. Let's see what Pussy 2's drawing. Pussy. I'm getting hit with a fucking Minecraft ad. Give me a second here. A McDonald's Minecraft ad to boot, dude. This is like cancer like squared. What the fuck? Oh my god, dude. Twitch does this thing where if you stop looking at the ad stops running. It's so annoying. Okay, I don't think this guy's talking because I see him chatting in chat, which is just not really what I want. I want somebody that I can actually talk to. This guy seems Chinese, so I don't know if he's streaming in English. Let me. I'm just gonna pause the music for 2 seconds so I can hear this person's stream. Are they speaking English? No, they're speaking Chinese. Okay, that's not gonna work. As much as it would be fun to dabble into the Chinese side of Twitch, I don't think it would do much for you guys. Pusey. Holy fuck. This guy's drawing some chick with a giant ass. Tempting to raid. I feel like I raid every time I see giant boobs or ass. I'm like, we're raiding this person, but I gotta turn down the goon dials a little bit. Oh, this lady's sculpting. Okay, we'll probably raid this lady named Gladsack. Very funny name. I am Chinese. I know for a fact you are not. But I like the drive to be Chinese. Gladsack seems to be Gladsask. Oops. Sorry. Gladsask. Sask. Gladsack, please do explain why it's funny. It's not Gladsack, actually. It's Gladsask. I was just being dyslexic for 2 seconds. Don't tell them I call them Gladsack. I don't think they're gonna like that. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. You can tell them whatever you want. But yeah, they're doing a sculpture and they have a Hagrid themed YouTube. Oh shit, Zale, Zale, no! You're raiding me as I'm looking for somebody to raid, dude. Thank you for the raid though. I appreciate it. Can we get a shout out for Zale? What were you doing today on stream? I was actually in your stream, which means I'm part of my own raid. We love cat snack. Yeah. Does that pop up as? Yeah, it looks like I'm a raider. What up, Zale? How you doing? What were you doing today? You're catching me literally at the end of the stream. We're looking for somebody to raid right now, so combo raid. There you go. Just don't tell them that I call them Gladsack. The person we're about to raid, by the way, for context. I'm gonna duplicate this layer and work off the new layer just because I want to get a little bit more experimental and I don't want to lose where we were at before. So Zale, the suspense is killing me. What were you drawing? Maybe he's pooping or making food or something. Well, Kat, looking forward to how you finish this dude's fit. It looks like he's some Dune soldier. That's kind of the idea. Is like some military future sci-fi guy a little bit. Sorry, Kat, I gotta go eat. Hey, no worries, dude. I appreciate the raid. Have a good rest of your day if I don't see you later, and I'll catch you whenever I catch you, dude. Go manger. Yeah, I look forward to how it turns out too, assuming I can actually finish it. I also have a bunch of other ladies I never finished. Let's where's the other? It wasn't this one. Yeah, no, it was this one. It was just they're underneath all these other chicks. So I was drawing these like Ginyu girls that I never finished, and then let's get rid of that. I wanted to finish a lot of these girls, but I never did. I'm gonna have to do that eventually. I do kind of want to go through and fix these and work on those a little bit. So we'll do that eventually. Bombastic side eye. Oh, the this chick. Yeah, I really like this one's my favorite one. This one is incredibly mid. I never finished it, obviously. I just kind of got frustrated with it. Are these gesture practices? Kind of. They were more just like gender bending the Ginyu Force. It just seemed like somebody in chat. Somebody in chat said that you should try to gender bend the Ginyu Force, and I was like, "Fuck it." And then I got really carried away, and I started like rendering them and everything. But this one's the only one I actually like, though. All the other ones, I don't like this one. I don't like that one. Really, I really like this one though. Finish it. It's amazing. It wasn't Faye. It was Dizzy. I should finish it. I just don't find it very. I just don't like it. I just don't think it's appealing. Like this one's not very appealing. The face doesn't really work for me. This one's so ass. If I do, I'm probably gonna really rework these two, but that's gonna take forever. This one's like perfect though. I do want to finish her, and I want to clean up her lines. Her lines are a little fucked up. Her clothes are a little fucked up. I think I could do a better job. Same with this girl. Honestly, this girl's not too bad. Anyways, there's a lot of shit I want to work on, but right now we're doing this guy. So I hadn't done dudes in a long time, so I was like, fuck it, we're gonna draw a guy because I've been drawing nothing but ladies for a while. Anyways, I'm stalling till the end of stream, and then we're gonna raid what's her face, Glad Sask, not to be confused with Glad Sack. I say keep the middle ones. Sometimes we need to give attention to the better ones. Oh, you mean like keep the purple? I mean, I'm gonna keep all of them. I just feel like I would rework the way it looks. Like I just think there's some design stuff I could do better on that one. I don't know, especially because it's supposed to be a girl. Like it's mostly the skull shape up here that I don't really like. But I appreciate the encouragement. Anyways, let's load up the raid and let's get the fuck out of here. And then you guys know the deal. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern time. That's when I'll be streaming next. Let me set up the raid here. How do I spell this lady's name? Glad Stask. Have a good night, bro. Yeah, you too, Aim. Axum. Axum? Am I pronouncing that right? Axum? Axum? I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll catch you then. All right. Let me let me at least wait the 15 seconds to hit the 3 hour mark so I feel nice and special like I did a 3 hour stream, but there's no real way to say it. Say it however. I like that. Axum. Axum it is. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.